Let's start with the attack on Pelosi's husband, Paul Pelosi. What is your reaction?
It's disgusting. This violence is horrible. That's happened. We had a door knocker in Florida that was attacked. I mean, this stuff has to stop. One thing I did when I took over the NRC a year and a half ago is I went to the Federal Election Commission and said, could our candidates and our senators use their campaign dollars to pay for security? Because, as you know, House and Senate members don't have security, most of them outside of D.C. So, but a lot of it is we've got to say, we can have a heated conversation about the issues, but this violence has got to stop. This is horrible, and my heart goes out to Paul Pelosi, and I hope he has a full recovery.
We've learned that the suspect's social media shows that he embraced conspiracy theories about the 2020 election in January 6th. I want you to listen to what President Biden said yesterday.
It's one thing to condemn the violence, but you can't condemn the violence unless you condemn those people who continue to argue the election was not real, that it's being stolen, that all the malarkey that's being put out there to undermine democracy.
Is he right? Should Republicans do more to reject conspiracy theories and dangerous rhetoric?
I think what we have to do is, one, we have to condemn the violence, and then we have to do everything we can to make sure people feel comfortable about these elections. You know, we've got to do everything we can to get people comfortable that this election in 9 days is going to be free and fair, that people's votes are all going to be counted fairly, they're not going to be diluted. And so that's one thing I've tried to do at the NRC is get people to make sure we're ready. I tell people go to the polls, vote, go to the polls and be poll watchers so you can see that these elections are going to be fair. And we've got to work on it every cycle, get it better every cycle.
To be fair, Senator, most of your Republican colleagues, even those in the Trump White House, said that the 2020 election was free and fair, and that has not stopped the conspiracies from flying. So is it important for people from the top of your party, the former president on down, to tone down the rhetoric about the conspiracies that might instigate somebody who is unhinged, like the man who went into the Pelosi home?
Dan, I think what's important is everybody do everything we can to make these elections fair. We've got Hillary Clinton saying the 24 election is going to be stolen. We've got Stacey Abrams saying she didn't lose. You know, so my job is do everything I can to get people to feel comfortable these elections are fair. And I'm telling people, get out to vote, go be a poll watcher, and when we have the opportunity, let's make our election laws safer. Let's make sure that you have voter ID, you don't have ballot harvesting, you have monitored ballot box. That makes people feel more comfortable that the elections are going to be fair.
Okay, and just to be clear, I want to move on, but there's no evidence that they weren't fair in 2020. I do want to move on to something that's happened in your home state of Florida, which is reporting that there were anti-Semitic displays around yesterday's Florida-Georgia football game in Jacksonville. There are photos on social media of people holding anti-Semitic signs along the highway. The message, Kanye is right, about the Jews was apparently projected on the side of the stadium. What's your reaction?
It makes you mad. You know, I became governor in January in 2011, and we were dealing with this at one of our universities. We've dealt with it. I've dealt with it as governor. And this anti-Semitism, I mean, it's disgusting. It's wrong. We have to push back against it. And I mean, we've got to understand, we are blessed. We live in a country where we need to accept people. We can cherish our differences, but let's accept people, and let's all live in a country that we've got the best opportunity in the world. So let's quit dividing ourselves and quit attacking other people, and let's talk about how we make this a better place. So this stuff is disgusting to me. I've never understood it, and it's disgusting to me.
Well, let's talk about your midterm agenda. Democrats say that one of your proposals, which would sunset all federal legislation after 5 years, jeopardizes Medicare and Social Security. You've previously said that those programs need to be preserved, reformed, and protected. So just a simple yes or no. Do Republicans want to cut Medicare and or Social Security?
Absolutely not. And you know, the Democrats just cut $280 billion. All Democrats in the Senate and House voted to cut $280 billion out of Medicare just 2 months ago. And then they want to say Republicans want to cut something. Democrats have done this.
Senator,
Joe Biden, when he was senator, said he wanted to cut Medicare and Social Security. I believe we got to preserve them and make sure we keep them. What I want to do is make sure we live within our means and make sure we preserve those programs. People have paid into them. They believe in them. I believe in them. I'm going to fight like hell to make sure we preserve Medicare and Social Security.
Just want to correct the record. The Democrats' plan, which is now law, it didn't cut didn't cut Medicare benefits. It allowed for negotiation for prescription drug prices, which would ultimately bring down the price and the cost for Medicare consumers. But I want to ask the next question, which is about raising the eligibility.
Can we just finish that, though?
Sure.
It cut $280 billion out of Medicare. That means we're going to have fewer life-saving drugs. It cut $280 billion out of Medicare. They can say they did all that. They cut $280 billion out of Medicare.
It did not cut benefits.
It will reduce life-saving drugs.
It didn't.
You cut $280 billion out of Medicare. Something's going to happen.
Okay, all right, but
Dana, come on.
All right,
I mean,
I want to. We can debate that and for a long time, but I want to focus on you and the Republicans and what you want to do right now. Do you support raising the eligibility age for Medicare and Social Security?
No.
Okay. Do you support cutting back on Medicare benefits or reducing Social Security payments in order to keep the program solvent?
No, and I don't know one Republican that does.
Okay.
And I know Joe Biden proposed, he believed in these things. He said it publicly when he was a U.S. Senator.
Let's talk about another part of your plan, which calls for permanently extending the 2017 Trump tax cuts. Many economists say that could make inflation worse. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office says it would add almost $3 trillion to the deficit. So how is that fiscally responsible?
Well, here's my experience. I cut tax and fees 100 times as governor of Florida, and my revenues grew. All right? Revenues grew with the Trump tax cuts. They didn't go down. They grew with the Trump tax cuts. Inflation is caused by not living within our means, by having a government that spends more than it takes in, by causing a regulatory environment that makes it difficult for people to produce foods, having a regulatory environment that causes gas prices to go up, have diesel prices to go up, have natural gas prices go up. That's what causes inflation. Inflation is not caused because you cut taxes. Government does not create the economy. Individuals create the economy. Businesses create the economy, not government.
Well, on the question of inflation, the Congressional Budget Office is the one that said that reviving the Trump tax cuts, extending them permanently, I should say, would add almost $3 trillion to the deficit. You think they're wrong?
That's assuming you don't grow the economy. I mean, I cut taxes 100 times and fees 100 times as governor, and our revenues grew because you start building the private sector. We got to make government smaller, the private sector bigger. That's what we have to do. This idea that government can build an economy is just a complete fallacy. And it's never worked anywhere. It's not worked. As we get bigger and bigger government, we get more and more inflation. I mean, it's very consistent.
The election is just 9 days away. You have been crisscrossing the country. Senator Chuck Schumer was caught on a hot mic. I know you probably saw this. He gave his midterm assessment. He's optimistic about Pennsylvania and Nevada, but he said the Democrats are going downhill rather in Georgia. So which battleground states do you think Republicans will win on Election Day? How many Senate seats will the GOP control next year?
We're going to get 52 plus. Herschel Walker will win in Georgia. We're going to keep all 21 of ours. Oz is going to win against Fetterman in Pennsylvania. Adam Laxalt will win in Nevada. But I think we have every reason to believe we can pick up with Blake Master in Arizona, with Don Bolduc. I'll be going to New Hampshire today. I think Don Bolduc has every reason to believe he's going to win. But we've got shots with Tiffany Smiley in Washington, Joe Day in Colorado, Leo Levy in Connecticut. This is our year. The Democrats can't run on anything they've done. People don't like what they've done. They don't like high inflation. They don't like gas prices, food prices up. They don't like it. The public doesn't like an open border. They don't like high crime. And that's what the Democrats are known for. I mean, they've done all these things. Democrats did it.
Senator,
they did it. They want to run away from it.
We're almost out of time. Before we go, President Trump is going to campaign with your Florida colleague, Senator Marco Rubio, in Miami ahead of Election Day. The rally notably will not feature your successor as Governor, Ron DeSantis, who is also on the ballot this year. Should Governor DeSantis be at that rally with Donald Trump and Marco Rubio?
Well, that's a choice everybody makes. I mean, I know President Trump is trying to make sure we get a majority back in the Senate. He's spent, I think, $20 million in ads. He's doing rallies. He's helped us raise money. He's doing voter contact. So I know he wants to help us win. I'm doing everything I can to help Republicans win all across the country. We've gone all over the country. I was with Ronna McDaniel, the chair of the RNC, the last 2 weeks.
So you're okay with Governor DeSantis not being
is doing the same thing.
You're okay with Governor DeSantis not being there?
Oh, yeah. It's a choice he makes. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Senator Rick Scott of Florida, thank you so much for joining me.